the day in the life of a digital teacher look like? Well, I'm coming down my stairs, and instead of getting in my car, I'm going to go down to my basement. But every day when I do, my husband says,
"Have a good commute to work today."
Okay, thank you. I'll be safe. First, I'm going to show you what my classroom looks like. My classroom, which is my basement. Come on down. My basement has changed from a man cave to a grandma suite to a full-blown classroom all within this year. Come on in and let me show you what it looks like. Oh boy. First I'll show you the technology required to be at home in this digital and virtual learning world. This is my video camera that I have to use so that the kids can see me stand up and down. I adjust it accordingly whenever I go to my rocking chair. If I come around this way, and these are all things we've learned as we've gone through the process, I have my computer, I have my document camera so that when I work with small groups, I can do it on my desk and they can see things really close up. I have my big monitor I had to hook up so that when I'm presenting to the kiddos, I can see them close up on my big monitor. All of these things just have developed as I go through the process of being a virtual teacher from home. So here's the rest of my classroom. Well, you know I have to have You Are My Sunshine because that's my classroom theme, and that was actually on my car for the car parade. When you come over this way, I'm so lucky to have my fireplace, and I have it all decorated up as my background. I have my board, and I was able to put the second step directions on here so the students are always reminded of how to behave. Of course, my sunny yellow rocking chair that I found, and my husband treated me to a sunny yellow chair. So it is bright and sunny for my students. I am constantly adding things to my digital classroom and running into school, bringing things home. This is my ELA section, this is my math section, and this is just all of my important things section. So it's very similar to the classroom, but also a little different. I had to hang black tablecloths with all my kids' names so that they can see that they're part of our family and the first grade team. So now that you've seen my classroom, it's time to talk about how the actual day looks like. It varies depending on which day of the week it is, but for the most part, it means, first of all, vetting through the curriculum of Lincoln Learning to decide what to keep and what to supplement. In supplementing, we make our own videos, so we become YouTube stars. Who would have ever thought at 55 I could be a YouTube star? We work together as a team to decide who will do the videos, and honestly, that is one of my favorite parts of the entire program, which I think goes into the next question, what do I like the best? So I'm sort of meshing my questions a little bit, and I'll come back to that, but really the collaboration with the teachers from the different schools has been incredible. I just love working with them, and I have learned so much. We all learn from each other. So my day, back to vetting the curriculum. After we do that, we plan our lessons, and the videos are inserted into the Lincoln Learning curriculum. Then we go on to planning for small groups and one-on-ones. Most of my day after I do my morning meeting consists of small group lessons with students, whether it's ELA or math, and also one-on-ones. After that, we have things like trainings. So, in addition to our small groups and one-on-ones with students, which takes the bulk of the day after morning meeting, then we have to respond to all of our parent emails, which can be quite a challenge sometimes, and just anything else that comes up throughout the day. You know, my phone is constantly beeping with texts from both parents and colleagues and my team members, and we're just always asking questions because this is such a new area for all of us. It's actually really exciting to be working in this field right now. That's a typical day, and that takes me up to about 3:40, which is never the end of the day in the life of a virtual teacher, but that's okay. That's the time to think about the planning for the next day, get everything together, clean up the basement, and respond to all of those extra parents and extra inquiries that we didn't get to earlier in the day. I really don't mind though, because it's so nice to have the comfort of home where you can run upstairs if you need to. You can take a bathroom break, which you don't usually get to do in the classroom. You can grab a cup of coffee. You can even take an hour walk and then come back and spend from 7 to 8 in your classroom. So that's really cool. that wraps up what my day looks like in first grade in a digital environment. What is the thing I like most about Digital Academy? Well, I sure like having my friends with me because they go either in the classroom or here in my classroom at home, and they are wonderful to connect with the kiddos. But from a personal perspective, I think what I like best is certainly not having to run out the door every day, but just to come down to my classroom here in my home. I love having that extra time to spend with my husband because we're both getting older, and I never thought I would have the opportunity where he's working upstairs and I'm working downstairs. From a teacher perspective, I think the thing I like the best is that I get to spend both small group time and one-on-one time with my students with no interruptions. I don't have to be supervising 15 other children over at tables and at centers while I have my small group at my table. And in doing so, I feel like I'm building really valuable relationships with my little firsties. So that is one thing that I definitely like. And the other thing is I love the safety of my home, and I love knowing that my little ones are all safe in their homes, because my biggest fear as a teacher, and I think most people would agree with me, is the threat of an active shooter coming in. So I know that's sort of a dark spot, but it's also a bright spot for me in my sunny yellow basement, that we are safe and secure. Another thing that is so awesome about being a virtual teacher is working with the teachers from the other schools on my team and learning so much from each other, and also having students from both Friendship and Southern. I taught at Friendship for about 13 years before I came to Southern, and I still remember many of the families there. I have a really neat story about that. I taught a little boy named Emmett about 4 or 5 years ago, and Emmett always told his mom that I was going to be his little brother's teacher. And his mom explained to him that I had gone to a different school. And he just kept insisting, Mrs. Dieter is going to be your teacher. Well, sure enough, whenever I got my class roster, there was little Dean, Emmett's brother, and Emmett beaming from ear to ear, looking at Mom and saying, I told you Mrs. Dieter was going to be Dean's teacher. So that was a really special thing for me, and it's just really neat to be able to connect back with the families that I miss so much from Friendship. How do I prepare for a digital lesson versus an in-school lesson? Well, let me start by saying it's a collaborative effort. Our team works together on that, and what we do is we look at the Lincoln Learning curriculum, and we look at our own standards and our own curriculum and the way that we teach in school, and we sort of mesh them together. In doing so, we delete items from the Lincoln Learning curriculum that need to be deleted, and insert videos, as I mentioned before, our YouTube star videos, and other engaging activities such as songs or little pieces from the internet. So once we have the curriculum established and we know what the students will be learning that week and it's all set up, it's time to actually get on our computer and make sure that we are set for the day. So the first thing I do is turn on my video camera, turn on my side monitor, turn on my document camera, and then open all the tabs at the top of my screen that I'll be using that day. Because if you don't have that all completely prepared, the students suffer, and you, as Dr. Bryson would say, fail forward. And believe me, I have failed forward many times this year in learning how to operate everything, and especially simultaneously. Once all of that is in place, we are off and ready to go. The one thing I have learned that I think is really fun is whenever I first open my morning meeting, my little ones used to come on and not say anything. And now what I do is I hide my face, but I keep my voice on. So I might have the flag in the background where they can't see me, and I've encouraged them to greet each other. And it has made a world of difference. They all get on and they greet each other and they ask how they're doing, and it sounds just as if they're walking into a regular classroom. And then I'll hit my music button, and they know when they hear the music to hit their mute and that we are ready to begin our day. And that's how we start with morning meeting, and it all goes from there. So whether I am in a physical brick and mortar classroom or right here in the comfort of my home, I still have a wonderful opportunity to be with my firsties, to spend that quality time with them, whether it's over a video camera or whether it's in person. I do believe that there are such benefits to being in person, but we're making it work. And the opportunity is one that has never, ever been given to teachers before. I feel very fortunate to be a part of that. Second of all, there are times that it is overwhelming, but it's okay because we will come out better and stronger. I've learned so much this opportunity. And when it is overwhelming, I've learned to be optimistic. So in being optimistic, we just have to pick ourselves up and continue to look at the sunny side of life. Last word that I would use to describe my experience with Digital Academy and virtual teaching is overjoyed. And I say that because of an experience I had recently with one of my little girls. I was doing a one-on-one teaching with her, and we were doing some testing, and when we were done, she looked at me and I said, "Do you have anything else to share with me before we hang up?" And she got a big smile and said, "Mrs. Dieter, can we sing 'You Are My Sunshine'?" So together, through a digital computer screen, we sang 'You Are My Sunshine.' And it may have been in two completely different places with computers in between us, but the love was not absent. It was the most warm and wonderful feeling that I've experienced as a result of being a digital teacher. So we can reach the children. It just takes some creative thinking. In closing, I just want to say that we are all together in this. I never feel alone. We are warriors, we are one, and we can do this.